face was hurting, like smiling and laughing so much. It was just like, okay.
All right. Well, ahoy, sailors.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. Welcome all to painting. I only have 2 rules here at my painting in Boozy Bevs. Rule number 1, let the creativity fly, just not onto the ceiling or the carpet. And it is a bottomless bubbles class. So if I see the bottom of a glass, I'm going to fill it. If you don't want me to fill it, you have to tell me, or we're gonna have a sad, lonely glass that nobody gets to drink and sits here and might roll back to like the ravioli can in that commercial. Everything sound okay? Yes. Amazing. We are gonna get started right away then, because we only have just an hour and I want to give you as much time to sip and paint as you can. I'll also say throughout this whole thing, I'm gonna be moving faster than you, that way I can show you where you want to get to. Don't feel like you're running behind, I'm just scooting along. Make sense? Yes. All right, so we are gonna start. You're more than welcome to. When you find a shade of blue that you like, you're gonna put that across the top of your canvas and bring it down about 1/3 of the way down the canvas or so. And then the paint that you're working with today is acrylic paint, which means it has a liquid content in it. So it's gonna spread really nicely on its own. It also means that if you get it on your hands, it'll wash off really nicely, but if you get it on your clothes, it may not. So just be careful. This is an adults only cruise line, so we don't own spots.
I like the blue color.
You said 1/3 of the way down?
Yeah, about 1/3 of the way down. If you're questioning my math skills, that's totally fine. I am a dance major, not a math major. So I'm guesstimating. I can count to 8, and that's about it.
That's all you need.
After you finish your sky, the next thing we're going to do, you can clean your brush if you like. You do not have to, because we're going in with the blue anyway. So if you are prepared to be messy and you're not a perfectionist, don't worry about it. If you are, live your life. We're going to go in with that plain blue color unmixed with anything else. And we're going to cut in our horizon line against our sky. This can be scary, so maybe take a big gulp of your champagne. It's all going to be okay. We're just going across, making that blue strip, dark blue. Don't take my paint. You got your paint. Oh, okay. And then we're going to bring that dark blue down about 1 inch or so. And if your horizon line's not straight, don't worry about it. You have a lovely wavy ocean. You've got
You were
some motion
literally
in
reading my
there.
mind, because that was all I was thinking. Wow, this is not straight.
Mine never is. If you look at any of my examples on your table, you'll see that my horizon's very crooked. I blame it on painting standing up, but who cares?
I believe it.
I'm gonna bring it down something kind of like ish. Everything I say has an ish asterisk.
Ish.
An inch. Like an inch.
If you're not sure how big an inch is, ask one of the females at your table. They will tell you honestly how big an inch is.
Yeah, this is like 2 inches. I went a little. Couldn't help it. I was on a process. I couldn't stop it.
You're trying to make it straight.
I was trying to
What
make
are
it
you
straight.
straight?
This is why I can't like cut bangs.
You just keep cutting and keep cutting and cutting.
We know how that ends.
Yes, I did cut my bangs in quarantine. I do have bangs. I do cut my bangs. I live on a ship now, so it's one of those things where you're like, well, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Nothing some good bobby pins can't hold.
That's
it.
right.
Exactly. If anybody had little children that decided to cut their hair,
Oh yeah.
take a drink of your champagne. It's like one of those games.
Oh,
I luckily did not.
yeah. Oh, I did.
Here.
Oh, Blondie did. She
If you're
cut
at
it.
this table, these are my lovely parents. Say hi, parents.
Hi.
She did not get the talent from us. She got it
I think it
from
looks
my
pretty
dad.
good.
The next color we're gonna make is our teal color for our ocean. So kind of in that same spot you mixed your sky blue, we're gonna mix blue, white, and just a tiny, tiny, tiny touch of green. It's gonna be a little bit more white than blue, and then just a tiny bit of green so it gets a little bit of that like teal-ish color. If you don't want green and you want to go in with a little bit of yellow, you can do that as well. Just be careful not to make a swamp.
Okay.
It's okay.
Blue, green, and yellow. Is that what you
If you
said?
want a swamp, white, blue, and a touch of green or a touch of yellow, up to you.
Oh.
And everything is a fun little mixing game. So if you don't like the color you came up with, add a little bit more blue or add a little bit more white until you get to a color that you like.
What is it supposed to be?
And what are we making with this color?
Like a aqua tealish color. It's going to be lighter than that dark blue, but in between with our lightest blue. So it's going
To be
that
water?
middle shade. Yes, for
To
our
water?
ocean.
So it's the color I want the water.
Yes, the color you want your
Oh,
water
it's
to
kind of
be.
muddy.
Mine does too. Mine looks like it has
Also,
seaweed
if
in
you
it.
want, kind of lift it up into the light of our port or like windows here, because the light in here is yellow and pink a little bit. So sometimes we get weird colors looking down, but then when you take it out into real light, you're like, oh, that's not ugly. It's not ugly. It's just a bit. What do we
Can I have a console?
Chemical.
I need a console.
Yes, and you're gonna put this right underneath that darker blue color.
Mine's, I don't think that's the right color.
Same thing, about maybe an inch or so, because we're gonna do one more color underneath that, and then we'll have our beach.
Okay, that's a color.
Just kind of blend it all together. You'll learn.
Carol, we
The
got?
messier are, the better it'll be.
That's pretty greeny. She's pretty greeny.
Mine's a little more green.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have green.
Oh, let's just see what happens.
I mean, what is it going to be? Ugly? It's fine. Just put it in the backpack.
Yeah.
Or
So,
suitcase. Nobody's going to appreciate this in my
How
house.
far
anymore.
down? Did she say?
I take it about another inch farther down from that dark blue line. Now, if you're real fancy and you want to mix those two colors together so they blend really nicely, once you get that kind of like middle shade down, go back in with a little bit of that darker blue and go right over where those two kiss together. And you'll just bring that down nice and slow, because both of those paint colors are still wet. They'll start to kind of blend really nice together.
What did she say?
Blend them.
Put the dark blue in to blend it. Did you say dark blue
Yes.
to blend it?
Mm-hmm. Dark blue from the top, and then just slightly bring it down. You don't need a whole lot of paint because they're both wet. If you wanted to do it with a dry brush, you could do that too.
I blended, sort of.
yeah.
If I keep drinking it, it's a really good one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to take a couple more sips of champagne.
It's really good.
And then my blend will be good.
I got some rough surf here.
Yours is not as green as mine. Mine's
No,
like
it's
way
not.
more green.
I was struggling with getting green.
So I'm gonna.
It's because I'm on a sandbar.
Can I add white?
I just have a sandbar.
So this is when I need Emma, because she's an art major. Well, she's not an art. She's getting a fine art
I
degree.
love this color blue that she's got, and I can't make that color thing.
Yeah, right? Oh, Blondie, I wish you were here to help me.
Hers looks more blended than mine.
So more of a sea green, sea foam green.
Should I be fanning?
Well, let's see, look how much.
Oh yeah, you got green.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, I know you've got the bloom. That algae bloom that happened the other day.
She got another inch.
Another inch.
I don't want algae though. I don't want
Look how little
sarcasm stuff.
short.
That's brown. That's
And then the
Mexico
last
stuff.
color
Stay away
we're
from
gonna
that.
put At the bottom of our ocean, we're going to leave a chunk down at the bottom. That's going to be our beach. If you want to bring it farther down, or if you want more beach, less beach, that's all up to you. We're just going to take that sea-ish color that you have, add more white to it. So it's the same shade, just a bit lighter, and you're going to bring that down to where you want your beach to meet your ocean.
Say that again.
Add more white.
Add more white to the color that you already have, so it's a little bit lighter. And then you're gonna bring that color down about another inch, leaving about an inch at the bottom, plain white, unpainted. Unless you want more beach. If you want more beach, leave more beach. If you want less beach, bring it all the way down. Up to you.
add some more blue to this. A little bit more blue.
I'm not know if there's much difference between those two.
Yeah, see, I have way more green than you.
Champagne down the
I
front
just
of
look like I got some fog right here.
And once you have that last color, you're gonna let it dry. You can pick it up and use it as a fan. You can sip your champagne. You can do whatever you want. You're also gonna want to clean the brush that you have been using, so that bigger flat brush. You're gonna want to clean that, like I said, use those tablecloths, those drop cloths to clean those brushes. You can keep that napkin for your hands if you get anything on your hands.
I feel like this is one of those, like, you could just keep adding paint until you get it where you want to be.
Yeah.
And then you get to the point where it's
Or it
like,
gets too bad.
shit, I bought too much paint in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, I give up. No, just not drinking very fast. I can do it now.
Yeah, I need to drink more.
I gotta catch up to you.
Yours sounds better than mine. It's got green. Mine just looks like
Depends on where we're going to be. So Bimini water is like really, really bright blue. This is more like Florida water. Mexico water. This is like Mexican water. Like Riviera water. But I don't want to go to Mexico. I wanna go to Bahamas.
you and your brain were not there, but now you are.
Mexico, I mean, Mexico's all right. Mexico's better than home. But if I have to choose, Bimini is my favorite beach. That and Turks, Grace Bay. Oh my gosh, beautiful Grace Bay.
Beautiful.
You can't get to Grace Bay. You can't get to Grace Bay on a cruise ship though. You got to go on a plane. So,
What's the other one better?
Bimini.
Bimini, where we're going. But Turks and Caicos has a port, but you have to take a Carnival ship because they own the port. So it has to be Carnival, Princess, Holland, any of those. And it's over on Grand Turk. It's not on Providenciales, which is where Grace Bay is.
That's on my list.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. It's one of my favorite places. It is because the dollar's the dollar's the dollar. There's no break like you get in Mexico and Dominican and Jamaica. That's why.
That's like Europe now. You can't get a break there either.
No.
Actually, you're upside down sometimes.
Yeah, you're upside
Depending on
down.
when you go.
Yeah, depending on where you go. Like that trip that we're planning to
I will
Athens.
speak to all of my perfectionist artists out there. There will be coming a point where you'll just have to stop messing with it and move on. Okay. Life lessons from the 24-year-old. Stop messing with it and move on.
I
You
feel
can do so
seen.
much better.
I feel seen.
Okay.
I feel
So our
violated.
next point, once you let that dry a little bit, we're gonna do our sand. Our sand is fairly easy to mix. It's gonna be your white with that lovely like Dijon mustard color. You're gonna mix that together until you get like a nice beachy sandy color. It can be as light or as dark as you want. If you want really, really light sand beaches, make it as light as you like. If you are from the north like me and your sand is mud, you can make it as dark as you want.
We have white beaches.
Yeah.
So it's already
Panhandle,
done.
Florida, Sandy White, yeah.
And then you will take that and put it on that last little bit of canvas that is exposed at the bottom of your canvas. And it's gonna go right up to that line against your ocean. If you wanna make your beach perfectly straight across your canvas, you can do that. If you wanna give it a little wiggle, you can do that as well.
Unless you're on the Atlantic side, like St. Augustine, and it's just ugly there. Have you been over there?
It's a rock, yes.
Who was telling us that St. Augustine
When we were
was
at the
really
swimming
pretty?
pool.
Well,
It's
it's
good to see, but
Yeah,
the beach is
that's
not
the
good.
That's
The
because-
Gulf side is better.
Yeah, you've never been to the beaches in Alabama.
That's the
Yeah,
It's like walking on flour. It squeaks when you walk.
yeah, it's not white beaches.
Yeah.
We have
Like
white
the ship's
beaches.
moving.
It's beautiful.
Very similar to California
In the
beaches.
ocean.
It's the same way. It's that
Yeah, it's
orangey.
that- and it's hard.
Oh look, I did that on accident, but that actually kind of works. That's a happy little accident.
I love that.
They're not happy little trees, but it's a happy little accident. I'm showing my age on that comment, aren't
Yes,
I?
and I knew what you were talking about.
that looks like this.
All right, so what are we doing now? We got to clean though, right? Has this got water in it?
Here we go. Beach-ish, everybody. We're at beach-ish.
What are we mixing together? The brown and the yellow? Brown and the white?
Yeah, please don't drink your paint water. That might be not tasty. Don't be wasteful with water. We recycle here on the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, so we are not wasteful.
I tried, the more I got in it.
So look at video. On video, it looks yellow, but on here it doesn't. Isn't that weird? Yeah.
We need to rinse that brush.
I'm gonna say, and yes, once you let your beach go ahead.
Sorry.
You're gonna clean your brush. We want that brush clean so we can do some clouds. I'm cleaning water right now because we're gonna use a little bit of water in our clouds. So if you take your water, you only get one water change per class. Speak now, forever hold your peace. It's already been done. To this table, one over here. No, this table you are out of water changes. No more questions. Follow along.
You're also out of questions. Wow.
It's question number 58 for the day, not for the class. A little bit wet. This is my trick for my clouds to look kind of transparent, kind of wispy. With our wet paintbrush, we're gonna go in with a teeny tiny bit of white. So we're making that white a little bit more diluted. And that's not gonna change anything except make that pigment more sheer. And then with that big flat brush, I like big fluffy clouds, so I'm gonna do big fluffy circles wherever I want my clouds to be. And because I diluted the paint, it comes up in a nice sheer wash. And then if I wanna add it to make it a little bit more opaque, I'll do another layer here and there, wherever I want a little bit more depth. But I like big fluffy clouds. If you like wispy clouds, you can do that as well. But wherever you want your clouds to be. Sometimes I like to say, look outside. There's clouds over there. I think I got too much water in mine. Little clouds, big clouds. Clouds off at the distance. Clouds right in front of you. If you want no clouds, it's a cloudless day. You can do that too.
How am I getting blue in there? It's bleeding through your background, I think.
I think so too.
I'm doing it on purpose because I'm making mine kind of look like they're about to rain.
Do you have a hurricane? That's fun. You can have some people like very stormy beach. Once they figure out if they really like doing clouds, they'll keep adding more and they're like, oops, I guess I'm having a thunderstorm at my beach. That's fine.
I don't know. So I think that the way I had my blue already, it looked like there was kind of clouds in it. So I'm just gonna kind of like blend this a little bit more.
Oh my gosh, they would.
You know, instead of like having actual clouds.
After lunch.
That's fine.
Because I
Sure
feel
beach.
like it is. Because I feel like that I kind of already have little white thingies in here. So if I just kind of blend this, I don't know.
Mine's about to storm, I think.
Yes.
Gotta see if I just kind of. Yeah, see, it kind of gets a little 3D effect going.
I have two clouds.
Emma would be so proud of me. Emma, if you were here, look, Mom can do this too. She's my art girl. You know?
Well, it looks like there's some trees there, so.
We are going to now.
Uh-oh.
So we're gonna start adding in some waves or some sea foam, whatever you want, into your ocean. And to do that, it's the same method as the clouds. So using your little skinny brush instead, so a little bit of white, and you're gonna water it down just a little bit so it's more sheer. And then for waves, I like to do little wiggles. Wiggly, squiggly lines. You can put them all together in one spot. You can do little dots. If you have no waves, it's a beautiful, perfect, still ocean for you. Then, hey, I want to come to that beach. But I'm just wiggling my brush down wherever I want my waves to be, thinking that if I'm looking at a beach, the wave that's going to be the biggest is going to be closest to me, and the one that's farther away is going to be little. So just deciding if I want any waves at all, and going in kind of with that watered down white color, and just tapping in some splashes here and there. If you want to do sea foam where your ocean meets your beach, it's going to be that same kind of thing, just doing them squiggly wiggly lines where those two meet.
What if I do it all the way across?
This is one of those moments that you got to be abstract.
My mine are too fat.
I got one foam.
I don't like it.
I think they're not supposed to be that fat.
Mine are really fat too. Everything's up close. That's what I'm calling it.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to put any creatures or anything in your ocean, you could do that too. I've seen some of the Loch Ness Monster. I've seen sharks and mermaids and sailboats.
Give me a sailboat.
But he's like their property.
Channel your inner Ross. Can we do a little dab here? A little dab there. A little blend here.
Oh, really?
You can do as much or as little as you like. It's all up to you. I like
Sails.
those. Those are pretty.
Triangles. Sails are always triangles, right?
Yes.
Not always.
Whenever I do sails are also always triangles.
Triangles with a stick. It's like a tree out there floating around. Maybe this is the party boat with the little tiki hut.
Yeah, there you go. I will say, the one thing that an artist will always trick you is that you look and you go, wow, that must have been really, really hard to do.
It was so
along the
hard.
sand?
Yes. Every artist breaks things down into silly little shapes for dots or lines. But then when you put it all together, you're like, wow, that's incredible. And they're like, yeah. Wasn't it all just like circles and triangles thrown together all together? And the only difference between really good artwork and artwork that you don't like is that somebody decided that it was really good and that everyone should care about it. And we said, yeah. True. So, there you go.
What if I undo it? How do I redo it?
You have to channel your inner Bob Ross and make a happy little accident and turn it into something
I
else.
can turn it into a giant container ship.
Yeah. Or maybe the sun is setting? Could the sun be setting on the horizon?
Eating art does not
I mean, we
make
could try that. I can blend.
just one of
Let's see what happens if I blend.
mental side effects. Maybe eating oil. He doesn't.
That's a good idea.
That was the joke.
I know.
Good job. Very good
We're
job.
getting there.
See?
We're getting there.
Happy little
One brain.
accident. Look at that. You've got the sun melting in.
I meant to do that the whole
Yeah,
time.
right? The whole
The triangle
time.
sails kind of killed me.
I'm
couldn't do the
here, so I'm
triangles.
gonna start with you guys.
That is neat.
That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm
Have you ever watched Bob Ross paint?
So, I
It's
like
very
to make my
soothing.
own
It's very
colors. I
80s
mix
too.
in my
It's
own
very 80s. It
colors.
is. I'm showing my.
70s, 80s.
Is it?
It
Yeah.
might be 70s.
But he had a revision though, like that the kids started doing it again because M started doing. But that's what they would do. Yeah, they
We
would
only got
take.
because there was nothing on TV about that.
Happy
Somebody
little
told us they're going to
trees.
take a Bob Ross painting class at
Yeah.
Dominican.
Just a little bit of
No,
No.
really. It's so rude. Oh, that's one ice paint.
think.
It's where?
At the other one?
At Bimini?
Bimini, yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to try and look it up. You
You
better look it up too. Yeah, it's on one of them. It's on the beach.
They were talking about it.
Yeah, because we said we didn't see it.
Oh, it's all just like little dot. I mean, like she said, you just kind of pat, and that's what he does. And all of a sudden, it just takes shape into something. Like, see, you took that.
My paintbrush, holding it like a pencil with a little bit of paint on it.
A mascara.
Look, now you just keep patting, because that's what's making the surf. See?
And that's going to be the center of my
like
palm
that.
frond. So when you think of a palm tree, it has that middle that all of the little spindles come off of it. I'll draw that center point first,
Oh, I'm just got stuff on my finger again.
and then with a little bit more. My best advice is that this is one of the moments where you're a perfectionist. You will have to take a big gulp of your champagne because the messier the better. If you feel like your paint is not getting into all the crevices of your canvas, you can add just a little bit of water and that'll help it flow a little bit easier, be a little less. How do you do the top part? So for another leaf, or if I wanted to add some on this side, I'll kind of follow that curve of the branch and pull a few out this side. Yeah. And then when you think about wherever you want to add another branch, wherever you want more of the palm trees to add, they kind of bloom out like a firework. Everything comes from one central point. So when you want to add another branch, wherever you want that next branch to go, kind of pull it out from wherever you think your tree starts.
Do a tree?
And then I always have my palm fronds going down because gravity is a thing here on Earth. Those are my quick tips. Be messy, try your best. I want all that stuff.
Do I want to put the palm tree kind of overlaying the sun, or do I want to put it over here?
Yeah, so quick palm tree tutorial. Not too quick. So I like to mix a little bit of my green with that like mustard color. I feel like it makes it look not like an electric green, but like maybe a possible palm tree green. And I'll sometimes mix a little bit of water in there too, just so the paint isn't super sticky, because green's a pretty pigmented color. And I will start by drawing the center of my palm leaf, and I'm gonna put one right there. I hold my paintbrush like a pencil, so I have more control over where it goes and what it's doing, and I don't have to add a lot of pressure. And then, so that'll be my center point. And then with a little bit more paint on my brush, with again holding it kind of like a pencil, really light pressure onto the canvas, doing quick pulls down away from that center point. And those are going to be my palm fronds. Like I said at the other table, usually the messier is the better. So think about it a little bit less. Maybe drink a little bit more champagne. You're just going to slowly start filling in all of those little leaves. Depending on where you put your leaf, if you have it kind of sticking more straight up, you'll see kind of both sides of those palm fronds. And you can draw some on this side as well. If you have it kind of more horizontal, you'll just see that side because they kind of fall on each side towards the ground, towards gravity. But we're just going to slowly start filling in some leaves. If you want a whole palm tree, you can add a tree trunk in there too. But if you just want some branches to kind of frame your beach picture, you can do that as well. If you want no palm trees at all, you don't have to do it. This is the choose your own adventure portion.
So much stress. That's right. No, too many options.
Is it the brown and the green, right?
Yes,
Or the lighter brown?
the darker brown.
The darker brown?
I mixed a little bit of my green with a little bit of that like mustard color. Okay. The yellow you can add into if you want it a little bit more bright.
I know,
Yeah, that's,
so I
that's
grabbed
the
it.
mustard color, the dark brown.
The
I
dark
put
brown.
yellow and green
Yeah.
because I'm from the north, so I don't know.
I used the wrong color.
I just have like my imagination Disney version of palm trees in my head. Follow you.
That looks really yummy.
And so I'll hold my paintbrush kind of like a pencil. And I'll start by just saying, I'll add a branch to this one.
Mine is not very thin.
So I think of my branches kind of all coming from one point, kind of like a firework. And so I'll draw the center point of my branch where all those palm fronds
that
go
green?
up, and just make a big curved line. So it's something like that. And then with that paint, I got a little bit more on my brush. and then holding it like a pencil, really light pressure. I'll just start going quick. Yes, close down.
Oh my God, I would love
It's
that.
gonna cost you.
It's gonna cost you.
You know, I have to get paid. You're using my art space and my material.
My eyes are up here.
Can't even imagine what you're
My eyes are up here.
I mean,
My studio space.
here's the problem. I'm Jewish. I always get a return on my investment.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I remember telling like I know what the hell that meant.
That's good.
there you go.
I'm not because I don't give out $2,000. What's in it for me?
You have so many beautiful pictures of you.
I'm not that much of a narcissist.
No, you don't want them. Then a
Kidding
bunch
me.
of other people have pictures of you.
Some do. Videos, pictures. It's gonna go on.
I didn't see that.
Okay, my palm tree leaf is not working out well at all. Could the sun be all the way across the horizon for my face? It's not a fine enough tip is the problem. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Yeah, I'm just letting it be kind of a little imperfect, a little messy. There's nothing in nature that's ever perfect.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh, this is clearly not perfect.
You get a better picture than me, let me know.
Mine.
Because I can't get it.
Mine is a big fat thing, and now I just got big fat.
Did you get one?
That was a hot mess.
Oh, this tree sucks.
Yeah, my tree sucks too.
I'm real good at subtly using
I
my
didn't get it to go fat. It's like fat.
There you go.
Yeah, I got one already.
Oh,
I'm very good at being subtle.
no, that tree is really stinks.
I'm gonna have some lovely.
I've been better off not to do a tree.
Yes, I would have been too, but now I'm already committed.
It'll look a little bit more droopy.
It looks like a blob.
Yours too.
There we go.
It's very
try
common.
it.
It happens very frequently.
Look, I got tons of paint.
Mine is so light. It's like a tree. Where's my tree?
My eyes are weird. Everybody wants to be a star.
I think I can fix the sun.
Everybody wants a little bit of it.
How in the heck did she do that?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's.
She's so lucky.
I think she has a skinnier brush.
I agree.
She's got a skinny brush.
That's not great. Don't put your dog on. All animals must be leashed. Put it back. But some people do bring their actual animals. We had a retriever. There is. So there's
there's a dog here.
There's a dog here now? Yeah. I'll have to find him.
It's a working dog, though, isn't it?
Oh, then I'll just observe from afar.
And I was like, oh, must.
Yeah, it has to be a working dog.
We're supposed to do what?
I don't know, but this tree does not get.
Seriously,
Person
they.
that
I don't know if it needs to be. I don't know what it
said they
needs.
weren't, and they were concerned, like definitely okay with animals being, but if they're like a working animal or a support dog for somebody,
Yeah.
but they weren't. So they were really worried because they were very allergic. So she's like,
Yeah.
that bothered me. But,
Yeah.
So I would say I would agree with that if it was like a support
Service-
dog,
it's a service dog.
But
Yeah.
they're not.
So the one I saw that's on board, it is a service dog. They've got the.
The red tags on the back.
Yeah, it's got the harness.
This does not look like a tree.
2.5-year-old Dutch Shepherd. He's their kennel at home.
That's just more effort. That's so much effort on a crew. It's like I gotta go take the dog
That's too
out.
much responsibility that I don't want. I don't
that's-
have responsibility of
that's why
my
we take
children,
Christmas.
so why do I need responsibility of my
I
dogs?
would love to see
Yes,
the puppy,
the
but
kids can take care of the dog.
That's right.
It's teaching them responsibility.
That's right.
You didn't want to bring?
No, because we throw a ball and he goes.
Yeah.
He'd go overboard, wouldn't he? He'd go swimming.
He doesn't care anything about anybody or whatever, as long as there's a ball.
Yeah.
I have a Pomeranian like that.
Yeah.
Her very favorite whole thing is chasing a ball.
Tree trunk over here.
I don't like this, and I want to undo it, and I messed it up. Well, my Picasso is over, y'all.
Well, and what would you do for them to go potty? I mean, I guess you'd bring
Yeah,
up
where do you go? Deck 9?
one of those little apartment. You know how they make those little apartment slab things?
Okay, you gotta tell us how to fix our trees.
Did you guys stop in Miami at all, like to venture out?
I spent the night in Miami.
we wandered out just for dinner, and I was surprised to see how
So
many
do
dogs
we.
there were.
There were
and
a
it
lot
was,
of dogs.
I mean, it was nice, and everybody was so friendly. And, but our dog is one that his whole focus is a
What we
walk.
got going on?
I don't
Where
know.
would
We've
send
messed it
But
all
it
up.
doesn't look like a tree.
They're little parks, but
It looks like
Yeah,
a
there's
tree.
a dog
You just
park
need to
right in
just be a
Miami
little
down from the
bit
Ferris wheel. Is that where you were
longer.
saying?
It looks like a
Yeah.
tree, but it looks kind of like a
he lives
like
for
a,
a
not a
walk,
pine
so
tree, but
just
like a
bring him down,
mangrove
Carver.
tree. Yeah,
Because
let them be a
you
little
throw
bit
it and you go in
long
the
and
ocean,
messy.
right?
I want
Jump off a
that
pier?
tree.
You want this
I
tree.
know. It doesn't look
But
like that.
that doesn't look like that tree.
That kind of looks like a cactus. But
It
that's
does
okay.
look like a cactus.
So,
I don't think there's any cactuses on my island.
Cacti.
no, you don't want any
Cacti,
cacti on your island.
Yes, no cacti on my island.
Understandable.
Trees for the leaves.
Not in Arizona.
I got rid
Beach.
of the shed.
You
The boat went away. I made
did.
it into like a sunset, but
You
then I
did,
got
but
rid of
you went
that.
away.
Well, because the tree and the sunset really were.
So
not,
make
you can only
that
have
your
one
sunset.
message. Yeah, I don't want that.
Because you
Yeah,
already
it's
got
green.
rid of that one.
he's like in your blend.
I think my brush is bad.
I know, that's how I felt.
My brush has gained weight since we've been here. And it's
Your brush has been at the galley for a while.
Exactly.